Welcome back to K News and thank you for watching. Let's continue the streak of news. Private carrier Vistara is likely to start flight operations between India and the UK, Germany and France under the bilateral air bubble agreements that have been signed with these countries, sources in the aviation industry said on Sunday. Earlier this month, India and the UK signed a bilateral air pact under which the airlines of both the countries can operate international flights with certain restrictions. India had signed similar bilateral pacts with Germany and France in July. Vistara has already got the slots at the Heathrow Airport in London. The flights between Delhi and London are likely to be announced in the next week, an industry source told. The Delhi-London flight is to operate thrice a week, the source added. The full-service carrier is also likely to operate flights between India and Germany and India and France, another aviation industry source said, adding that the probable destinations for these flights are Frankfurt and Paris respectively. It is not clear which Indian cities will be connected to Frankfurt and Paris by Vistara. Scheduled international passenger flights continue to remain suspended in India since March 23 amid the coronavirus pandemic. A father and son have died in Uttar Pradesh's Pratapgarh district after a bloody brawl between two factions over a land dispute. The violence broke out during a village panchayat meeting. The police said the meeting was held without their knowledge and with two lawyers acting as intermediaries. Nevertheless, 3 cops, including a sub-inspector, have been suspended for not acting in time to prevent the violence. Today, in a village in Uttar Pradesh, a panchayat meeting was held to resolve a land dispute between two groups. Clashes broke out between the two sides and the injured were taken to hospital without police being informed. Abhishek Singh, the superintendent of police, said. Mr. Singh said police rushed to the hospital as soon as they were informed. On reaching the hospital, they were told that 2 men, Daya Shankar Mishra and his son Anand Mishra, had died in the violence. 3 others were injured, the police said. SP Abhishek Singh said 2 individuals, Rajesh Kumar Mishra and his son, have been arrested in connection with the violence. Mr. Singh also said that in condition to sub-inspector, 2 constables and had also been suspended. 4 teams have been set up to investigate this matter. Several areas in Hyderabad and rural areas have been flooded with non-stop rains over the last 3 days. The weather office has predicted more rains in the next 3 days and a high alert has been sounded in many areas of Telangana. Over 600 buildings have been declared vulnerable in Hyderabad. Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao has asked officials to be on high alert for any incidents of flooding. Rivulets and streams are nearly overflowing and breaches have been reported in some areas. In Jaishankar, Bhupalpalli district, 12 farmers of Kundanpalli village were rescued by a helicopter. The NDRF have deployed teams for rescue and relief. A truck was washed away in Siddipet. The cleaner could be rescued, but the driver was feared drowned in flood water. 2 control rooms are being set up in Hyderabad. 2 choppers have also been deployed for rescue operations. The state disaster response force has been put on alert. The Chief Minister said there was a threat of inundation due overflowing tanks in Warangal and Karimnagar. Hanuman Konda town adjoining areas have turned into lakes. Locals say the municipal authorities failed to clear stormwater drains. The flooding has affected around 500 houses and the low-lying areas around Warangal and Bhupalpalli districts over 1,000 people have been moved to a safer location and 13 were rescued by the fire department, an official said. A Chinese national arrested for alleged money laundering was also bribing some Tibetan monks in Delhi, possibility to gather information on Tibetan spiritual leader Dalai Lama and his associates. The income tax department has found. Sources said cash between 2 to 3 lakhs were given to many people who live near Manjuka Tila in Delhi. The process of identifying them is on. Liu Sang, who was operating under the fake name Charlie Pang, was arrested on Tuesday during a raid in Delhi by the income tax department. The Delhi police said he is also accused of espionage conducted in September 2018. At present, he is out on bail. The bribe money for Tibetan monks was sent through men working at the office of Liu Sang. The IT department has told government agencies. The couriers have admitted to transferring the cash, the department said. The group conducted its entire communication was done on Chinese app WeChat, sources said. The department has also tracked down a Delhi-based chartered accountant who was helping the group in money laundering. The man is being questioned and is yet to be arrested, was operating more than 40 bank accounts. Transactions to the tune of 300 crore was conducted through these bank accounts, sources said. The transactions were done on behalf of the Chinese firms, some of which have been traced. Many of these transactions were routed through Hong Kong. An article by a foreign publication alleging that Facebook overlooks hate speech by BJP leaders become the latest flashpoint between the Congress and the BJP today. While the Congress posted the article as evidence of the alleged social media manipulation by the BJP, the ruling party cited the Cambridge Analytica data scandal and said the Congress should not point fingers. The Wall Street Journal reported that Facebook looks the other way in cases of hate speech and objectionable content from leaders and workers of the ruling BJP. The journal also reported that executive of the social media giant had said punishing violations by the BJP workers would damage the company's business prospects in the country. Quoting current and former employees, the article said Facebook has a broader pattern of favoritism towards the BJP. Congress's Rahul Gandhi tweeted. The BJP's Kapil Mishra, one of the leaders accused of hate speech ahead of the Delhi riots in February, also made the same point. Seems Congress is blackmailing Facebook to hide some serious crimes. Cambridge Analytica scam is just tip of the iceberg of Congress manipulating opinions and freedom of expression in India, his tweet read. In March 2018, a year before the general elections, the Congress and the BJP traded charges after it emerged that the scandal involving Cambridge Analytica, a London-based data firm accused of accessing data of millions of Facebook users to help elect US President Donald Trump in 2016, could have links to elections in India. Nearly 400 days since he played his last match for India, Mahendra Singh Dhoni has retired from international cricket, putting to an end both a storied career and months of speculation on his future. Dhoni made this announcement via an Instagram post on Saturday, a day that marked India's Independence Day, with the following message: "Thanks a lot for your love and support throughout from 1929 hours. Consider me as retired." The caption of the post read, which also contained a slideshow of images of his dazzling decade and a half spell with the Indian cricket team. which he championed in several roles as India's most illustrious captain, distinguished wicketkeeper, and also one of the most destructive batsmen the world has ever seen. He also transcended the game, becoming a cultural icon, the emblem of small town India, making it to the top of the world. By 2008, Dhoni was captain of all three formats with the Indian team. Under his stewardship and with a little help from coach Gary Kirsten, Dhoni dragged India to number one in the world in Test cricket for the first ever time in their history. This ranking was achieved with a drawn series in South Africa in 2011, making Dhoni the only Indian captain to have not lost a series on those shores. That legacy, however, was stained somewhat in the lead up to his sudden Test retirement in the middle of a Test series in Australia in 2014, possibly brought upon several consecutive away series losses, including whitewashes in England and Australia just after the World Cup win. Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray has said the process of lifting the lockdown in the state would be done in a stepwise manner. The threat of COVID-19 still persists, Thackeray said on Saturday, and added that he does not want a second wave of the deadly viral infection in the state. The Maharashtra government last month extended the lockdown in the state till August 31. Till Saturday, the state reported 584,754 COVID-19 cases and 19,749 deaths due to the disease as per official figures. It is more important how to lift the lockdown than to come out of it, Thackeray said in a video interaction with a team of doctors who are part of the task force set up by his government to combat COVID-19. Those who hurriedly lifted the lockdown had to impose it again. I don't want a second wave of the coronavirus in the state, the chief minister said. The state government's Mission Begin Again initiative is being implemented step by step. The momentum of Chase the Virus campaign should not stop since the threat of the virus still persists and monsoon is still active in the state. We have to be careful about rain-related ailments as well, Thackeray said. That's all for now. Keep watching K News. This is Hardik Trivedi taking your leave. Be alert, be positive, be safe.
दुनिया की नजर आज हम पर टिकी है, जिसमें सिर्फ एक सवाल है,